Okay, welcome everybody. This is the first group of the meeting of the Capital Planning Board for Capital Planning Committee, October 23rd, 2023. As I said, it's our first meeting of 2023 to look at 2024. I'm going to start with a roll call vote. Geraldine Bezique is here.
Chris Nosella.
And we have two other members who have excused absences. Okay. This meeting is being recorded and I have no additions or deletions. This is just an organization meeting. We're going to go from there. And does anybody else have anything they want to add or delete to the meeting? Okay, so, and I apologize, I didn't get a chance to print these out. I thought I could have them printed here, but I was not able to.
Okay.
So, but it's quite simple and I will get them out to you later. But the agenda is set that we will start. 2.1 is the election of officers. Recommending, but you can certainly deny this thing, that I'm thinking we go, I am more than willing to chair again, put Jerry as vice chair, you as clerk. If anybody has any other suggestions, I'm more than willing to hear that suggestions.
Are you prepared to run meetings if she can't show up, Jerry?
As long as there's an agenda.
Okay.
Okay, I will always make an agenda ahead of time. Or do we want to vote in Mark when he's not here? Does that mean?
Yes, absolutely.
We can do that. We
Put
have
Mark
a
as
quorum.
clerk, I'd be very happy just to sit here and participate.
I do want to say as clerk, I don't expect the clerk because I do like to keep the records and
not
the
take
whatever.
notes.
I was gonna say,
So-
I'm not taking notes.
Right, yeah,
If that
no, I
ever
will
needs to
keep the
come up,
minutes.
will.
I
Would you
prefer to
rather,
keep the
would
minutes.
you rather Mark be, vice chair?
No,
No?
it makes no difference to me.
Okay.
I didn't want to be negative against Mark. It makes
Yeah,
no
that's fine.
difference to me, but. Okay, then if everybody's okay with that, I'd accept a motion to elect myself as chair, Jerry as vice chair, and we'll do Mark as clerk. But
There
as I
you go.
said, the duties as clerk
There you go.
will not be for agenda and minutes. I will maintain that in my duties as chair.
Okay, well,
Okay,
So
Very
do
good.
you want to say so moved?
so moved.
second.
Okay.
We'll call vote.
We can
We have
just vote, yeah,
Geraldine Bezique is yes to the slate.
Yeah, Chris Nosella. Yes.
and Teresa Marcia. I think we could have just done I since you're present, but
Hmm.
no. No. And then the only other agenda item I have is we basically want to set date and time to meet with each department head, water facilities, highway, police, fire, and any other. That's the only, like I said, agenda items.
Have they even put together anything for us?
They were supposed to, Eric had just said that they needed to, discuss, get their general budget in, for general budget purposes, that was due. I don't know if they did, capital, but you guys, before you even came on board, had been a really decent process of having a capital plan. And then I know when I came last year, we even seemed to get it a little more squared away. So I think we're sitting in pretty good shape. Anyways, from what we had from a year ago. I know some changes. I've talked to the fire chief. I know there's some changes that have come. Some money has come from other places and things. So, shuffling of things like that. But I don't see a lot of changes coming from what we saw last year. I think it's just going to be
Do we
maybe
have a lot of requests?
excuse me?
Do we have a lot of requests?
I haven't seen anything
Yeah,
yet, so
yeah.
like I said, I wanted to give them a date, probably set the date. I wanted to set this early last year than I did last year, because last year was kind of like late minute
Last
that I
minute.
found out,
Yeah.
that I realized that it was my responsibility to do it. So I thought if we set a time, and I'm thinking, give them a month, I don't know if that's too long.
It's what, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I was thinking like give them a month,
That's plenty of time.
right? And
That's
then
plenty.
say, we want all your requests. They know how that request needs to be.
Yeah,
I think in that time, my hope is to work with Dom and maybe we could use, I know finance has a new software that they're using for financial planning.
well, we haven't done it yet.
Okay,
It's in the,
it's in the works. It, to me, it just makes sense, unless it's extremely cost prohibitive, and I can't imagine it was, that the capital plan should be included in that software. I know they have software for it, it's just, I don't know, if we're talking hundreds of dollars, that's a no-brainer. If we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, then of course it doesn't make sense.
yeah,
So in the meantime, I'd like to get familiar with that software, see if that's a possibility, and then when we meet, I'd like to have, if possible, that's why I'd like to give them a month, because then it gives me a month, if possible, to get the capital plan in the new software and have it ready to go for when they come. Does that sound like a plan?
sounds like a plan. Now, what are we going to, as we did last year, we'd ask one in at a time. I think we did a couple one time, but,
Yeah,
Yeah, two,
Two.
more than once, yeah.
well, yeah,
yeah, I
Because
think we
we
did,
think we gave them about a half hour or so
Yeah.
each time.
yeah.
I think we did like two at
Two at
a
a
time.
time,
Yeah.
okay. So,
The big two basically are fire and police.
Water takes a lot, but it doesn't, right? Because it's
It
not,
depends on what they're doing.
Right.
They have that project from
right,
last
they
year.
have that project or whatever.
And actually, all they were looking from us for was
Right,
the 7.5 million for the streets,
right,
so. All the rest of that, they were looking for,
and then,
grants.
I don't know, for the committee, you know, for me, this time in the afternoon works best, 4 or 5, or whatever. That's a really good time, and I think that might be good for the departments, because then they don't have to come after work or whatever.
yeah.
Uh,
4 works better for me because
Okay.
usually if it's gonna remain on Tuesdays, I have a meeting with finance right after this.
Mm.
So I can't
Okay.
cut into finance.
Okay, so, I like 4 PM on Tuesday too, because then that works.
I think that works for Mark too, because I think he's retiring in another month or so.
Good for him.
Finally,
Finally.
wow,
Finally, finally.
wow.
So,
He's what, anybody working?
not me.
No, I don't think it is.
So I'm thinking, is the week after Thanksgiving, Tuesday, November 28th, a good time to start, or do we want to give it more time, get away from the holidays?
Give me a second. Come on, work with me, Dawn. Looking at, so we're looking at November 28th.
I
Yeah,
am
it's a
looking
Tuesday.
Tuesday, November 28th at 4 PM.
Works for me.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. And do we want to do 1, 2, or 3 people?
What do you mean? Oh, for the thing?
Yeah.
It depends.
Who do we want to invite to that one?
Why don't we, I kind of like to keep fire and,
Police together.
yeah,
Okay, so why don't we start with the big guys? We'll do fire and police that night,
okay.
and now we'll get the big chunk out of the way.
That one's for police and fire.
So it's police, fire, facility, water, and highway, okay.
Highway would probably be a big one.
A big
maybe.
one, yeah.
Yeah. And then we could go,
Oh, yeah, we have Roger, we have to bring Roger in, I guess,
Yeah.
cemeteries.
Probably do cemetery and highway at the same time. You wanna do that on what day?
so I'm thinking, give it a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 2, 3 weeks, maybe the 9th, the 16th. Oh, wait a minute, so on my calendar,
You're in the
wait,
wrong day.
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong month.
Either the 5th, the 12th, the 19th.
5th, 12th, or 19th, what works best? I think the 12th, right there in the middle.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So.
I have FinCom that night too, so that works out for me. So we're gonna do highway and what?
Want to do water?
No, do highway and cemetery.
Highway and cemetery.
Okay. And that was December, what did we say?
12th.
12th?
12th, I wrote it down for the 9th.
The 9th is a Saturday.
Yeah, I know. I was listening to
I had
Teresa
the wrong
earlier.
calendar up.
Okay,
And then, do you want to finish it before the end of the year? We could get it done and do,
that'll give us time to work on
right,
anything we need to do. Because, I mean, we still have to be in by February 1st.
right, yeah,
So that'll give us plenty of time to
give us
work on
plenty of
stuff.
time, yeah. So, the finish it, oh, that's the day after Christmas, never mind.
We're not gonna do that.
I'm sorry, it didn't pop right out at me that was the
You
day
wanna
after
do that?
Christmas.
Well, I don't know
And
if
the
anyone
day
wants to
after
come in
New
on the
Year's
second.
not gonna work.
Why? It's only another day. I think it's like important.
How about we do just back-to-back weeks? Was that too much? We do the 12th and the 19th?
That's fine.
Can you do that, Kara?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we got-
Again, Tuesday on the 4 PM.
And that leaves. water.
Facilities, right,
Yep, water and facilities.
and water.
Water and facilities together. Do we have to see library?
Excuse me?
No,
No, okay.
I
Water,
mean,
water and
if they
what?
have anything to submit, we can always add
Okay.
another week.
Water and what? Highway. but waters,
Facilities.
Water
Facilities
and facilities, yeah,
on the 19th.
19th, yeah.
Teresa, when is, town meeting?
Town meeting is November 14th,
At what time?
7 PM.
Capital planning.
And brings a guest because I have to be out of town. So I need somebody to take my place. Do you want to sit at the table and pretend to be me?
Oh, God. No.
I could do that and make all the women in town very happy.
Okay, the other piece I need to know is, we don't want to change,
Capital planning for a call.
I don't want to go through, how do I say this correctly? I don't want to go through any exercises that seem to me to be exercise for the practice of exercising, like rate these 5,
Oh,
4,
I
3,
hate that.
2.
No,
no.
Okay, so we're
Yeah,
agreement, we
no.
don't need to bring any of
No,
that back.
we
Okay.
can just sit and agree. We don't need to do that
Okay,
foolishness.
so we're agreement that, but I
Yeah.
do expect them to come with the paperwork explaining the need.
Yeah.
And
Copies for us.
and with copies for us, because I'm not good at making copies for people. With copies for us would cost,
But
I
this is
think,
going on 24, right? This is for 24.
yes. Okay. Well, actually, technically, as a capital, it should be expenses over the next 5 years, right? When you think
Well,
about it, yeah,
That's just yeah.
yeah,
We're only looking at money for the 24th.
right.
Well, yeah.
I
But,
mean, they're
But
gonna
that's,
submit
that's
the
up to
plan.
their plan. That's up to them to set their plan,
Yeah.
not up to us to set their plan.
Yeah.
right, but I do remember there was one issue, I forgot exactly what the item was, but there was something that made perfect sense for us, we all agreed, and like a board member was like, well, where's the background on all of this? And I was like, well, they, gave it to us at the meeting, but
Right.
the other select board wanted more
More.
information, in a package. And I was like, no. So I am gonna ask, when I give these dates to Eric, I am gonna tell him that, anything they request, we want a little bit detail about the rationale behind
Right.
the request.
I
That's
think
it.
what we used to do in the past, Jerry, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but when they submit something, we'd look at them and say, well, you're gonna have to go back and look and see, like, if you can do a lease, like a piece of equipment, a lease to purchase, or
Right.
if you're taking a straight loan out, or how you want this. It isn't black and
Yeah.
white that,
Where's the?
And the form
Yeah.
you're supposed to use, though, says that too, like, how do they anticipate it being fun? There was a set
Yeah.
form that's available to them, and we can go back to that. It's the only thing that I didn't agree on was, like, there was the forms just got a little convoluted for my
Mhm.
and
tasting.
we actually talked last year about meeting before this to change some of those silly ass rules, but we never
Yeah.
really got there.
Well, that's not true. We did and we didn't. So
I
those,
wasn't invited to any of them.
no. So a lot of the rules, guidelines, policies is the right word, that
Hmm.
govern this board, every other board,
Yeah,
being examined by a board that was created called the Policy Subcommittee Review Board or something like that. They just had their first meeting. I think they could use new members, you're more than welcome, but
I
it's
do
every,
funny, thank you very much.
it's every, they're reviewing like every board,
What committee
everything.
was that? I didn't hear what you said.
Rules committee or something?
It's, yeah, they're going over the
Policies.
policies, and that is
Yeah.
what governs some of the things. So
Right.
we can just, as a group, just say, no, we're not fucking doing that. But like the general rules of how big the subcommittee has to be and all of that, that has to go through the policy. And those things are being reviewed
Okay.
right now as we speak.
Yeah.
They had their first meeting.
Who's on that committee?
Let's see, who is, I'm the liaison,
Therian, isn't Bob on there?
what?
Bob Therian, isn't he on there?
Yes, I think. Bob did.
Natalie?
Natalie Cole, I can look it up. But yes, they are, I can get to that after, but yes, that is how that is done. Okay, so what I see is, that is really all I had. We'll get this out to Eric, we'll tell them, it gives them plenty of time to get back to us. We'll tell them we want everything in writing. Gives me time, hopefully, like I said, to maybe be able to get this into the new software, if we have new software. If not, no big deal. I have the same stuff. I'm very comfortable with using the same stuff we use.
Are you gonna, screen share, is that what you're gonna do? Because, I know on finance, we've been bringing in our own computers and, I just soon not.
Going forward for the spreadsheets and stuff, it's probably easier if I just have Samantha print them out ahead of time.
Okay.
Cause I think especially when it comes to the spreadsheets and stuff, I think it's so much easier to be able to have a rule. To have a
True,
a
yeah.
thing,
I like to be able to see it, yeah.
So, yeah, so I think going forward, that we can do, but yes, I can certainly screen share.
Three old
as well.
school people. I
Oh,
like it.
Works for me.
I was gonna say protractor, and then I was like, that is really old school.
Unless you're talking slide rules.
I was gonna say, slide rules, yeah.
I haven't used the slide rule since freshman year of high school.
So the only other item on the agenda is, technically, that is our next meeting. I was gonna say you just set our next meeting, but we really did set that because of our next meeting is to be going over with the police and fire. So with that being done, I will accept a motion to adjourn at 4:23.
I'll, fine.
So moved.
So moved, yeah. I couldn't think of what the word.
That's fine.
You
Any
like
second,
You like
all those
fine
in
better.
favor, you can say
Aye.
aye. Aye. Motion is adjourned.